Military snipers man the roof of NATO headquarters. They're not normally here. It's because of special American visitors in town. Enter Rex Tillerson, the US Secretary of State, the latest in a string of top Trump administration politicians to meet with America's NATO alliance partners.
Morning, all.
He's here to press NATO countries to spend more on their militaries and do more to tackle the alliance's biggest challenges.
I think we have three important areas we want to talk about. First is ensuring that NATO has all of the resources, financial and otherwise, that are necessary for NATO to fulfill its mission. Secondly, we want to discuss how we can build on NATO's already important involvement in the fight to defeat ISIS. And then lastly, we want to obviously have a discussion around NATO's posture here in Europe, most particularly Eastern Europe, in response to Russia's aggression in Ukraine.
Southern Russia earlier this month. Dozens of Russian tanks are filmed arriving on the Ukrainian border, part of what's been called the largest buildup of troops in the region since the Cold War. On Wednesday, hundreds of pieces of heavy US equipment rolled into Poland. 4,000 NATO troops are currently fanning out across Eastern Europe to send a clear message to Moscow that the alliance is a force to be reckoned with. But it all comes at a cost. The US wants each of its NATO alliance partners to spend 2% of economic output, or GDP, on military defence, something that the NATO alliance had already promised to try and achieve by 2024. So far, only 5 countries, the US, UK, Estonia, Poland and Greece, are meeting these obligations. But the concern is that if the deadline is in any way brought forward, nations like Spain, Italy and Portugal with large fiscal deficits may struggle to pay.
Many nations owe vast sums of money.
But President Trump is resolute. When the German Chancellor Angela Merkel travelled to Washington to meet him, he took to Twitter soon afterwards to accuse Germany of owing vast sums of money to the US and NATO. Germany was quick to remind the US that NATO countries don't pay America to defend them and that the spending targets are meant as a general guideline. But Washington's $800 billion military budget, more than the other 27 NATO members combined, is essential for the alliance's future. The US says it remains committed to NATO, but unless its allies pay more, Washington may start paying less. Neave, Al Jazeera, Brussels.